Before NSS, I was a wedding photographer.
I was a touring musician after college.
I was doing warehouse stuff, retail stuff, restaurant stuff.
I was in hospitality at the Bridgestone Arena.
I was working as an administrative assistant.
I was technical support for Nissan North America.
Now I am a software development engineer.
I am a business intelligence engineer.
For the past 10 years, students from all walks of life have found new careers in tech with the web development, data analytics, or data science skills they gained at Nashville Software School. I'm Clark Buckner, self-proclaimed NSS fanboy, and I've had the privilege of getting to speak with many of the 2,000 graduates for NSS's Stories from the Hackery podcast series. One of my favorite parts about this is hearing where students were before NSS. And what's remarkable, no two journeys are exactly alike. In this episode, we'll hear 3 of those stories, starting with Josh Webb of Web Development Cohort 32, who had no tech experience prior to attending NSS.
Hello, my name is Josh Webb. Before going to NSS, I was in hospitality at the Bridgestone Arena, and now I am a software development engineer with Amazon.
Josh, it's so nice to reconnect with you.
Yeah.
Last time we talked at your demo day, it was about 2 years ago, or at least.
My demo day was oh wait, I have my little plaque somewhere. It was September.
You got it. Yeah.
I have it up there. It's like September 1st, 2019, I think it was. September 2019. So yeah.
I love
like
that you've
almost
got your
3 years.
NSS graduation plaque right there behind you you're looking back at. So, yes, and that was before pandemic. I mean, that's a
man.
whole nother world ago. And so,
Yeah.
there have been a lot of people who have left hospitality, certainly after 2020, but you made that transition before all of this changed. So today, I understand, as we're talking right now, you are finishing up your first week at Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's overwhelming because, thinking about like where my life, was and the trajectory and like where it is now. And, it's not even just about getting into, it's not even about getting into Amazon or getting into FANG, which, is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Those are the big 5. It's for me for this this is only my second developer job, and it was so important to me that wherever I end up is a place where I'm going to be surrounded by people who want to make cool things, who are good at their job, who are passionate about their job, and then I can learn a lot from and have the opportunity to make things. And there's like all the resources in the world with Amazon to do that. And that was the appeal to me. That was the appeal for me. I know it's going to be fast paced, and I know it's going to be high expectations, but like in those situations, it's like I'm happy to do it.
That's so exciting. Previously on this podcast, on the 10 Years, 2,000 Journeys podcast, we heard some dialogue around, Amazon now being in Nashville, having a presence here. That's created a lot more visibility for NSS grads. So we're not going to be digging into that particularly, but man, that is just so exciting for you in this new job. And I know you've got to be feeling all the feels. And something we often hear from graduates, whether it's on the regular, the demo day podcast, where we get the chance to hear from pretty much everyone who is graduating, everyone has this common theme. No matter their background, if you have the aptitude and motivation, you can change your career. In your case, going from hospitality, now you're at one of the world's most valuable companies.
Yeah.
Solving problems and doing what you love. So when you think back to this change, like, how do you put that into words?
It's extremely hard to put into words. I came from, a lower middle class, background. And, while I do recognize that, for the audio listeners, I am I'm a cis white man living in America, and there's a lot that is set up for me. But, when it comes to so many people in hospitality, it's like they do it, and it can take so much out of you that it's so hard for you to then invest your own time into yourself to, go and do something else. And with the opportunity tuition, just the just the trust and like the grace of, we're going to get you in that job, and you're going to pay us back once you're actually doing it, once we actually like kind of uphold our end of the bargain. And there were a lot of challenges in that. I keep on having this story where it's just like, oh, I'm so excited to be able to do things that I want to do. Have a job that is going to take care of me, a career that's going to take care of me, something that I enjoy doing, and then I can like start, I don't know, living a life outside of someone's tips. The timing couldn't have been better, because at the time, like, my partner, she I think that she ended up being laid off like the week of my first day. And so, but I was now in a position, it's like, hey, we're going to be okay. And it's the I just feel so much more free. And so, like, I there's nothing but opportunities ahead. And my time at NSS, and the work that it put in, it's like, I'm going to be reaping the fruit of that for really the rest of my life.
It's gonna change the dynamic of, I mean, it can be a generational change. That's something we've
Yeah.
heard often too.
Yeah.
You were just sharing, hey, I might not have had the support that I've maybe seen other people have, but you've been able to make this shift. You put the
Hmm.
work in,
Hmm.
especially coming out of a career where you're just, what I'm hearing you describe is like you can feel stuck. You do
Hmm.
2 shifts back to back. I mean, you don't have time to, you're going home
No.
and collapsing.
Yeah.
And not to mention, of course, everything being upside down for those last couple of years. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so happy you were able to make that shift, and you got the latest job. So as you're thinking about, now, 'cause what's so nice about this is we got to hang out in person a couple, 2.5
Yeah.
or so
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
ago, and I got to sort of see your
Yeah.
energy and your enthusiasm, and like, hey, I'm ready to take this on. It's just so nice to be able to catch up and to see where you are.
Yeah, it's there's definitely, if you go to NSS, and if you're in the field at all, you're going to hear the term imposter syndrome, and that is so so real. I don't think that I was fully convinced that I actually had the job, like, at Amazon, until like I got like my MacBook in the mail. And even then, I'm just like, this could still be a scam.
Is
Like,
this another Josh Webb? Like
yeah, it's
that?
just like, wait, am I gonna log in? It's just like, okay, man, so to get you set up, we're just gonna need $500. Um but it was just like, and my partner said too, she was like, it's like, I feel like you have a lot of self-doubt right now. It's like, yeah, I mean, I do, I still can't really wrap my head around it. But then I'll just have moments where I literally just want to like scream and yell and just like talk about, just like, this is to everyone, to the world, it's like, this is such a big deal. No, you don't understand. I was never going to be able to retire. I was never going to be able to own a house. I was never be able to comfortably raise a family. And it's just like, all of it's like, I can do whatever I want. I moved to New York, because I could now. And it's just this amazing feeling.
So when someone else is maybe considering a career in tech, maybe they're hesitant, maybe they don't have a tech background, what would you say to that someone who's thinking about maybe going into NSS, but they just, hey, NSS might seem a little intimidating or tech might seem intimidating.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave us with?
My number one bit of advice, and it's like, it goes outside of tech. Like, it's like kind of like my main life philosophy. It's like, you need to reframe what failure is, because not succeeding in what you were trying to do, failing, is not a blocker in your path. It is the path. When you fail, when you learn, and whenever you take it from a point of learning, it's like, you're not you haven't stalled. You're going. And with tech, you're going to fail a lot, but you're supposed to. You're supposed to learn as you go. So, number one thing is, yeah, just because you don't succeed doesn't mean it's over. Just because you didn't get the result that you expected does not mean it's over. You're doing the work when you mess up.
That's great advice for someone going into tech. That's good life advice. What a great note to end on. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for giving us an update on how you're doing. The whole NSS fam, they absolutely believe in you, and you are in the right place.
Yeah.
You put in the work, and just keep doing it. Keep on that path. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Clark.
Josh shared some great advice, and I hear this advice often from NSS alumni. Don't be afraid to fail, because it's all part of the hands-on learning process at NSS. Josh also mentioned NSS's Opportunity Tuition. If you're new around here, Opportunity Tuition is NSS's unique tuition plan that reduces the deposit amount, provides a scholarship, and then defers the student's remaining tuition until after they're working in tech. If they don't graduate and get a job in tech, their deferred tuition is erased. Opportunity Tuition allows NSS to lower the financial barrier for students to launch their career in tech. We also had the chance to catch up with Data Science Cohort 2 alumna Salam Teki, who reflects on how her experience with hands-on learning at NSS, along with NSS's Opportunity Tuition, gave her the tools to succeed in her first job out of boot camp.
My name is Salam Teki. I am a business intelligence engineer at Amazon. Before joining NSS, I just graduated from college, and I was working as an administrative assistant at a local engineering firm here in Nashville.
It has been 3 years now, I think, right? Since we saw each other. This was in person, and I pulled up a photo here from the in-person NSS Demo Day interview, and our friends at home can't see this photo, but that was from when you graduated on Demo Day. When you think back to yourself then and now, like, it seems like a lifetime ago.
It does. I mean, it's amazing. That was 2019. A lot has happened since then. In 2019, right after I graduated from NSS, my demo day, I was introduced to my manager at my previous job at Service Source Nashville, who offered me my first role as an analyst. And I worked there for 2 years and then went on to get a BI engineer job at Amazon.
It's incredible. It really is. It's incredible to see where you're at now. So when you think back to before Nashville Software School, take me back to those days, and then we'll jump back to where you're at now.
Yeah, so before joining NSS, I knew people who went through NSS, didn't have a tech background, just like me. I had no prior tech experience before joining NSS, but they had very positive things to say about the curriculum at NSS, the networking opportunities with local professionals and potential employers that NSS provided. So I knew from their experience that if I joined NSS, it would open up career opportunities for me.
It didn't take long after your graduation. So there's different programs, and we always like to be reminded, hey, no matter what your background is, tech experience, no tech experience. As long as you're willing to put in the work, you have the right attitude, you can do this. And some programs can be 3 months, 6 months, a full year, but no matter what, if you get to the finish line, NSS is going to equip you to take on a new career. So when you think of what you learned along the way and being part of NSS's Opportunity Tuition, tell me a little about the path that you were equipped with once you graduated and now where you're at today.
Yeah, so with NSS, with just writing code in general, it's not something you learn from lectures or reading textbook. And at NSS, from day one, our lessons were very hands-on. We work with real-world data that allowed us to gain more practical experiences. With each data project, we were able to identify and solve data problems. We became better collaborators and ultimately better developers. And that allowed me to have the foundational tools I needed to start my career as an analyst, deliver from day one, and then continue learning on my own.
When you graduated, you said shortly after you were introduced, like how did one thing leads to another, you find the job. Did you feel ready to go when you started that job? I mean, that's a big jump from a couple months later, not coming from no background in tech to now you're a data scientist. There's a lot going on with that.
I was really nervous. I mean, like I said, we did a lot of hands-on practical data projects. We worked for companies and we did data projects for companies in Nashville. But still, there is that uncertainty of, can I actually do the real job for a real company? And when I first got hired, I had to present my projects that I worked on for NSS, like SQL abilities, Python, and right on, I think it took only maybe 2 weeks of training, and then I was doing data insights, building dashboards, and writing SQL queries. And I really, there was a moment where I stopped and I paused to just realize, oh my God, I'm actually really in the job. So I think it goes back to the hands-on lessons that NSS provides that allows people to go into the real world and start working.
Opportunity tuition. It's really unique at NSS because there's not many schools out there that will say, hey, like you can come do this, no charge. You just pay us later when we know this is going to work for you. So tell me a little about how you engage with opportunity tuition. How did that unlock this whole new life you live?
I mean, it felt like too good to be true at points, but it did. Once I joined and actually saw what came out of it, it does make you understand that the opportunity tuition allows people to pursue the program regardless of their economic circumstances. And with the opportunity tuition plan, I believe NSS is helping improve the longstanding diversity and inclusion problem in the tech industry.
That's a huge focus NSS has had over the years. What better way to try to combat that challenge than say, hey, we're in this with you. You can do this. We believe in you. And not only do they do it, but a lot of times they end up coming back and, of course, paying the rest of their tuition, but they also, they mentor or they come back to the next generation of students. So have you found yourself in that too?
It's a community. One thing I've learned about tech industry is how important it is to network and build relationships. And that network starts from your peers at the data science cohort to your instructors to the guest speakers. And I've had people send me job recommendations, people offering to be my references. So you see the result of it's not just a school, it's a community.
I love that. And this community, we just graduated 2,000 students. This is it.
That's
the
amazing.
Community continues to grow. Your thumbprint is on that. It continues to be. So when you are maybe out in the community and you're talking to folks who are thinking, hey, maybe I could do NSS, but I don't have any background in this. What's your message to them? What's your encouragement to people who they want to make a career change but are unsure, especially because of their background of maybe not having experience yet?
I believe like so many other NSS graduates, we are a true success story. And I do believe in the work NSS is doing and the value they bring to the local Nashville tech community. It's a great place for people who are willing to put in the time and effort into learning. The instructors and the entire staff know and understand the learning process students go through, and they are there to support and help them succeed.
I've just loved everything you've said today. I do want to ask just one more question have there been any surprises you've come across just working in tech? Just anything else that you've learned that you'd like to share with us today?
So two things. One is what I mentioned, networking and building relationships and how important that is. And the second thing is I sometimes don't realize how successful NSS has become over the years, and I've had people reach out to me at Amazon, people that I've never met that went through my LinkedIn page and saw that I went to NSS and would ask me for information. People who didn't live in Nashville, and it's very incredible that NSS has the impact NSS have.
Oh my goodness, I love that so much. Well, we're looking forward to seeing what your future continues to share. So thank you for taking a few minutes to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've had wonderful conversations on this podcast with alumni who have been in their new tech careers for a couple years now. But to close out this episode, let's hear from a recent graduate who just happens to be NSS's 2000th graduate, Mittel Montoya of Full-Time Data Analytics Cohort 7.
Hello, my name is Mittel Montoya, and before NSS, I was technical support for Nissan North America for over 10 years. And now, after finally completing my boot camp, I'm a data analyst looking for a job and interviewing, and very excited to be a part of this.
So excited to chat with you today. Not only did you just graduate from Nashville Software School through the data analytics program, but you are now number 2000. You are the 2000th graduate from Nashville Software School.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It was completely, I was in the graduation, and suddenly there was this kind of pause, and then John started saying the next one will be our 2000 graduate, and then there was my picture right there. So, really excited.
Wow.
And all my family, were cheering and everything. So that was a bonus for sure. I was not expecting.
Well, very exciting times for you, exciting times for the nonprofit now, 10 years working with a variety of folks, a lot of people right here in Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and beyond. So our goal here is to talk a little about your story, but also highlight your experience going through, talk a little about as well, opportunity tuition. That's such a unique thing that NSS offers, and talk a little about, hey, what would you go back and tell yourself or someone else who's considering going into a tech career? So you were just mentioning Nissan, several years. How did you learn about Nashville Software School, and why did you decide to make a change?
Well, I was in technical support actually without really knowing a lot about cars at the beginning. Actually, I came to this beautiful country 20 years ago. Didn't know that much English, so I had to learn on the fly. And then I was able to graduate from MTSU, and then I got married with my beautiful wife, and that's how I got into Nissan. And I was there for a lot of years. I learned a lot with great people. But I was exposed to Excel. I was doing a lot of different metrics for my bosses. And we had a group of about 30, 35 people, basically helping dealers all around the U.S. and sometimes abroad. Also, we had U.S. diplomatic personnel that they bring their Nissan vehicles all over the world. And sometimes those models, of course, are not sold on those countries, so they contact Nissan North America for support, and sometimes I had to coordinate parts, sending parts to Guam or to Panama or different countries. So that was exciting, but I really liked the more data intensive side of the job, and doing charts, doing indicators for my bosses. And then Nissan adopted Tableau, which is data analytics visualization software, and I was really excited to be able to use a little bit of it, but I wanted to go further. So that's how I started looking for schools, and I found Nashville Software School, and it's a great school, and especially the opportunity tuition program. That was the key for me being able to study and to change my career.
So you were just saying exciting work, really enjoyed what you're doing, but you started to get kind of your toes dipped in the water of like, wow, there's a lot happening, and maybe being a data analyst could be kind of next step in
Yeah.
your career. So was there a moment when you decided, hey, like going through NSS, like it's a big commitment, it's going to take a
Mhm.
lot of time. Was there a moment when you said, I am for sure going to do this? And what helped you make that decision?
Well, there was a time, of course, you're in a job and you're comfortable. You have some job security, but you want to keep learning, and sometimes you just have to take that step. You could continue where you are, but maybe the options are not, are limited. So I got to the point, and I think a lot of people too, after the lockdowns and everything. Well, you got to think what I want to do for the rest of my working career, and I really enjoyed working with Excel. I know that I wanted to go deeper into knowing more about the data, how the data is used for businesses to take action for their business decisions. So that really was the point where, okay, I have to do this. And if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it full time. I'm gonna really concentrate. And so that's why I chose the full time program, which is 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. So of course I couldn't work in my previous job, so I decided to leave that and start the full time program to completely change and go in a different direction.
It's a big leap of faith to do that. I mean, that's putting a lot of trust into the process and walking away from a job that I know you clearly enjoyed. You know,
Yeah.
you were challenged and were finding some of the things you're doing exciting, but that's a big leap of faith. So tell me about the live online data analytics bootcamp experience. So going
Yeah.
through that full time, all day, your full attention. When you
Yeah.
think back to it, what comes to mind?
Well, it comes to mind when I came to this country and I had to study and learn not only the material in my career, which actually it was a different complete career, recording industry, audio engineer, but you have to dedicate yourself. And I was drawn to Nashville Software School because of the opportunity tuition. I think is key. It not only gives you the confidence that the school is behind you and they want you to succeed. They have all these resources um, for you, and once I started the boot camp, I really felt at home. I felt very supported. Our instructors are great. Chris Wright and Joshua were excellent. Of course, I was learning new things, and it was difficult sometimes to learn new languages like SQL and Python, but the support we get from the school, from Nashville Software School, is great. And now, actually, that I'm looking for a job, I feel really, that I have the tools to succeed. So, yeah, I would really, I wouldn't look back.
Yeah, wouldn't look back with any no regrets.
No.
As they say, no regrets. That's so cool. I loved hearing the shout outs. I always love hearing when there's some shout outs to professors,
Yeah.
instructors, right? Instructors, different people that are part of the experience who are either teaching or just in the support role, because NSS
Yeah.
helps you get that first job. Like, and you just said a moment ago, like they are kind of partnering with you and kind of believing in you, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's the beauty of opportunity tuition. It's saying, hey,
Yeah.
we know this works, we've seen this work, and we're gonna be alongside you every step of the way. And you'll once you're making that, you got the new job, you've got
Yeah.
it's locked in, then you start to go full circle with paying it back, and not only the tuition, but a lot of times you see NSS alumni paying it
Mm-hmm.
back with their time and continuing to be part of this whole alumni network of now over
Right.
2,000 graduates, and you being
Mm-hmm.
that 2,000th. That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, and I was surprised by the level of support, like you say, from alumni. Like they really help us also with mock interviews, and while we are at the boot camp, and just sharing with us, their journey as well, and how they succeeded, and what problems they faced, and they are very connected to the school, and that shows, I think, the commitment and everyone's attitude, to move forward and to not leave anyone behind.
What else would you say to a person considering going into a tech career that maybe they don't have any tech background, or maybe they're nervous or thinking maybe this is not for me? What would you say to them?
I think they will definitely check out the jump starts that Nashville Software School has, and they're short programs, a few weeks, and then you can get a feel of the program. But also, just talk to any student, former students, and it's easy to find them in LinkedIn, and they can share. And also, I'm there, so I'm available for anyone that wants to ask any questions about this program. And you don't really need to know a lot about data analytics. Actually, you don't have to know anything at all. You're going to learn everything during the boot camp. And I mean, if you've ever used Excel just to, have a simple list of things, then that's pretty much, you know enough to start. Yeah, and you're going to learn the rest during the boot camp. So it doesn't require you to know a lot of different data tools. I didn't know anything about SQL or Python or any of those languages until I came to the boot camp.
That's really exciting. I know right now, Middle, you are on the job search. You're on the job hunt. Not for long, though. I think you're going to get snapped up in no time with a great new job, a job that you're going to find purpose and fulfillment and enjoy. And we're so excited for you. Thank you for sharing your story with us today. Again, congratulations on not only graduating, but being such a special signal to the rest of our Nashville tech community and beyond about, hey, if you have the attitude, you're willing to put in the work, you can not only get through this, but you can be ready for that next job and your new career. So congratulations.
Thank you,
And
Clark.
we're looking forward to following along your journey.
Sure. Thank you. And I thank Nashville Software School as well for what they've done, and and congrats, and many more years to come, and to have many more graduates.
I always walk away encouraged after talking with alumni and recent graduates of NSS, because it just goes to show, if you have the aptitude and motivation, you can gain the skills for a new career in tech. If you're ready to begin your own NSS journey, or you'd like to donate to NSS's scholarship fund to support Opportunity Tuition students, visit NashvilleSoftwareSchool.com. Thank you so much for listening. 10 years, 2,000 Journeys, celebrating 10 years of tech in Nashville, is presented by Nashville Software School in celebration of their 10-year anniversary. Follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or follow anywhere you listen to your favorite shows. I'm Clark Buckner, and we'll catch you next time on 10 Years, 2,000 Journeys.